Friedrich Nietzsche was born in 1844 in Rürken, a small village in Prussia, now part of Germany. His father was a Lutheran pastor, and when Nietzsche was only 5 years old, his father died. This early encounter with loss would mark his life in profound ways. As a young man, Nietzsche showed extraordinary intellectual talent. At just 24 years old, he became a professor of classical philology at the University of Basel. It was an astonishing achievement. Yet despite his academic success, he felt increasingly out of place in the world of scholarship. He was drawn not only to the study of ancient texts, but to the deeper questions of culture, art, morality, and the meaning of existence. In his first major book, The Birth of Tragedy, Nietzsche explored the power of ancient Greek drama. He argued that Greek culture was shaped by two opposing forces: the Apollonian, representing order and reason, and the Dionysian, representing chaos and passion. For Nietzsche, true creativity emerged from the tension between these forces. Over time, his thinking grew more radical. Nietzsche challenged the foundations of Western morality and religion. In works like Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Beyond Good and Evil, and On the Genealogy of Morality, he questioned the assumption that moral values were universal or absolute. He famously declared that God is dead, not as a celebration, but as a diagnosis. He believed that traditional religious belief had lost its power in modern Europe, leaving a spiritual vacuum. Nietzsche feared that this vacuum could lead to nihilism, the belief that life has no meaning. But he did not stop at criticism. He called for the creation of new values, shaped by individuals strong enough to confront life without illusions. He introduced the idea of the Übermensch, often translated as Overman or Superman. The Übermensch represents a person who creates meaning through strength, creativity, and self-mastery. Central to Nietzsche's philosophy was the concept of the will to power. He believed that living beings are driven not merely by survival, but by a fundamental urge to grow, to overcome, and to express their strength. Life for Nietzsche was a continuous process of self-overcoming. Yet Nietzsche's own life was marked by suffering. He endured chronic illness, severe migraines, and isolation. In 1889, at the age of 44, he suffered a mental collapse in the city of Turin. He would never fully recover. The remaining years of his life were spent under the care of his mother and later his sister, until his death in 1900. After his death, Nietzsche's work was controversially interpreted and misused, most notably by nationalist and fascist movements. However, many scholars argue that these distortions ignored his fierce opposition to anti-Semitism and herd mentality. Today, Friedrich Nietzsche is regarded as one of the most influential philosophers of the modern era. His ideas shaped existentialism, postmodernism, psychology, and literature. Thinkers such as Jean-Paul Sartre, Martin Heidegger, and Sigmund Freud engaged deeply with his work. Nietzsche once wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." More than a century later, his challenge remains: to confront the absence of certainty, to create meaning in a fragile world, and to become who we are.